from the 0 to the point 0.5, which really dropped the car ground, and then I adjust the front height so that the front tires just barely touch. Um, and I love this setup block, but I think I need a second setup block that's clear, so that I can see the tire whether it's touching or not. So I think
You can
being
get
able
you
to
can
have a
get the one
clear
from
setup block.
Propulsion Motor has the clear Lexan one. I have a couple of them behind me. They have a clear one if you want to get a clear one.
Yeah, so I plan on ordering one of those, and that would help. And so I put, let's see, I put some float in the motor pod, and in the body, and I found that my tires were rubbing the body a little bit, so I had to do some work there. And then I put some tape on it just to kind of soften that motor pod out a little bit. It's getting around the track pretty quick, but I don't think it's perfect. I still need to do a little bit more work to it. And I added a little bit of weight,
Okay.
about 8 grams, I think.
So your front wheels, do they spin nice? Like if you just slick it, they go.
No, they don't. So that's one of the things I need to work on. When I put the body on, they were, and so but I made an adjustment and they tightened up on me a little bit. So it still needs some work.
Yeah.
But I'm comparing it to my Elva, and this thing is set up fantastic, thanks to Daryl. And so I'm trying to recreate the same thing.
What did Daryl do to the car?
I haven't broke this car open yet, but pretty much the same thing. Adjusted the front end. He's got some float built in, a little bit of weight. But
Sorry, Marty. So I think you might want to repeat that, because what happened was our stream cut out and then restarted a new stream for some reason. So we have two, like the old stream cut down and then the new stream started up. So when you were talking about what you did to your cars, I think we cut out at that point. So
Okay.
do you think you can just restart with what you did to tune your cars?
Sure. So I'll go back to this. This was the car that I was tuning on. You got me now?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good. We're live.
So I lowered the front ride height, so that the tires are barely touching.
Yeah. So you got
setup
the
block.
grub screws. You did that with the grub screws or something?
Yeah,
else?
with the grub screws. Yeah. So this comes with grub screws on the bottom,
Yeah.
and then on the top of the axle. So so you have some pretty fine adjustment. I added some float into the motor pod and the body.
Right.
Put silicone tires on it. These are super tires. And let's see what else. I added a little bit of weight, about 8 grams, I think, of weight to it, just to, I don't know, just give it some substance. It felt like it was a little light. It liked to kick out in the rear, and so I put some weight kind of along the sides and on the chassis.
So
and
what
then
do
a
you
little bit in the
determine where the
nose.
weight? How do you determine where to put the weight?
Honestly, it was put it in, run some laps, and move it to see how it performed, and not a great way to figure out where it needs to go. I try to get the car as balanced as possible, but I don't have I have a scale, but I don't have a way to, without really just using something to balance the car on and figure out where the midpoint is.
Yeah,
Yes.
what George is holding.
George, I need one of those.
Soccer corner. Not very expensive.
Yeah, I know. I know that they're cheap. They're not that expensive.
Yeah,
But I
cheap
just
is
have not.
relative, boys.
Yeah,
Well, we don't have. It would not be cheap for you, Raul.
Raul knows already.
Sorry
you
about
lose
that.
You saw that yesterday, right? You saw
Yeah.
that, like, there I am. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start building my diorama. Went to Racetrack Scenics, put a bunch of stuff into the cart. I was like, this sounds good. You know, it was $250. I'm like, go to checkout. Shipping was $456 US. Like, what do you do to that? You're like, wait a second, I have
my
to pay
God.
double for shipping.
That's
I
painful,
said,
Raul.
you know, I have my own laser cutter. I'm just gonna cut my own stuff. I mean, what else do I do? Like I want to
Right.
support. I want to, I would have bought. I'm not trying to create my own stuff. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, I sent you the
Yeah.
screenshots of the shopping cart.
Yeah.
What do
That's
I
crazy.
do? Yeah.
Did you glue
You,
the tires
you
mark to the rim, or they're just on there?
I did not glue them. Um, but those are some things I still have to do on my list. So I've got some fingernail polish um, that I thought I could glue them on with and try that. Um, but yeah, it's a nice car. I'm really happy with the sideways. I was real impressed with that the layout. But it looks like it's got a lot of slotted parts, and I don't know if that's related to slotted in any way corporately, but um, it definitely favors the slotted type of car.
Hmm.
Yes, John. I would move if I could, but I have a daughter and she's in school, and there's a lot of things that are going on. So
Yeah, you don't
yeah,
uproot kids too much.
yeah,
I know how that
Yeah,
feels.
that's right.
yeah. So no problems there. So how is it
So
running,
George,
Marty?
you recommend? It's running pretty good. George, you recommend getting the balance table that
I would talk
you,
to your friend more about that. I don't think, really, to be honest. That thing I got is a novelty. It wasn't expensive, and I tried it a few times. I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't think it's made my cars faster. That's just
okay?
a tool.
Well, I
I
mean,
would
that's
really, I would
I don't
recommend
I don't like
what
the
they did
waste.
to tune it to that track. How does it run on your track now? Does it run different, or does it run faster on your track? Or
It's again, my layout is not really. My layout was built for mag racing. I've got long straights. I don't really have tight turns. I've got big sweeping turns, but there's just a lot of speed, and I'm finding that running a non-mag is pretty challenging. So I think for no magnets in it, it runs really good on my track. I don't think that it would be great on Cincy Slots track. I think I would still be behind a lot of guys. I think it still has some tuning left in it, so I'll keep working on it. That's the fun part. Is just getting
you'll
getting
get that.
laps in.
And then once
Yeah,
you get more track time, you're going to be more familiar with the track, because those guys that have raced there a long time know exactly
yeah,
where to accelerate, where to decelerate, what to do. And you're going to get that. You just haven't been there long
yeah,
enough. By
yeah.
then,
Marty, is it possible to go there and just run for a day or like on a weekend or something?
He's only open during the week and
Okay.
closes pretty early. So I would have to take a day off to get there and get some track time. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I
but he
did
did
when.
release
Sorry.
he did release his track plan on his website the other day.
Okay.
So I could recreate it if I wanted to, but I won't do that.
Yeah, recreating it doesn't really. I don't think it changes. I don't think it solves the problem completely because you don't know how he's banked his turns and stuff.
Right.
Does he
Right.
have elevations in his track?
He has one it kind of through the middle. There's some S's that
Yeah.
kind of gradually go up into a nice turn to the front straight. So um, I'll send you a picture of it. It's a nice layout. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, like the more you George says, the more you practice on it, the better you'll get. Um, but they
Yeah.
seem to be moving classes a lot, right? So every month a different class.
So yeah, that's how they do it. There is each month they run they run two classes a night, and so this past month it was Group 5, 132nd scale analog, and then they run a digital class, and it was 124th scale Group 5. So both cars were Group 5 this month. Next month, well, actually now starting February, this Thursday they move to analog vintage. So it's anything that ran on a road course from 1950 to 73, I think, are the dates. So you can run any brand as long as it meets the requirement of it's a car that ran in this 57 G40. Is to be super popular. You start asking questions on what the guys plan to run, and I think everybody has one of those, a Thunder slot in their box. And so I would say it's probably going to be a lot of slotted, a lot of Thunder slot, a lot of NSR.
Yeah.
That's just my guess. And then the digital class is Group 5 Carrera.
Oh, nice.
How does he switch to analog on his track?
He doesn't have an Omnibox, but he probably had created something. He and a friend of his built a box specifically to convert it from digital to analog, and I would say it's a lot like an Omnibox, but they handmade it. Yeah,
that's cool.
So I've been talking to Jim from Omnibox, and he's going to make a trip. Come to my track. I don't know when, but he wants to run on a layout, and he's going to plan a trip and hit a bunch of places between Little Rock and Ohio. So I'm hoping that maybe his travels will bring him to Cincinnati. He can run Cincy Slots track on a Thursday night. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Garth says you should copy Cincy's track on your track.
See why not?
I've
layout,
thought about it.
Yeah,
I thought about it.
Building it.
I need to order. I need to order about $200 worth of R2 turns, though. The track is full of. It's got 35 230 turns, and I don't have that many. I only have 12 in my layout. So
see if Sunday can make a deal. Sunday, this is where you should chime in.
Yeah, I have.
So
Dave
I need to
says
order some.
you need a lot of space for Cincy Slots layout, but I think you have the space, right?
Yeah, I probably have the space. I could make it. I would have to add to my table. My table's a little longer, but than his, but his is a little wider. But.
Yeah. Well,
yes, buy things from me.
That's right. That's right.
Sunday Slots says buy things from him. I always buy things from him. What is he talking about?
I mean, that's your cheapest opportunity right there because of shipping.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Ernie's got me like
Massimo
Ernie,
uses them too.
Yeah, because for Carrera, he's the best in Canada right now for us, I think. Because at one, he's like Panther Hobbies is a local store, and they're about an hour, about 40 minutes away from me. But one, they have no website. Two, we never know what comes in, what doesn't come in. So the cool thing about Sunday Slot Cars is they update regularly. They're always on YouTube, and as soon as we see that, I'll buy anything as long as I see it. Like that's the way I am. And unfortunately, with Panther, I'd love to support them, but they just have no presence, and I can't. You can't do anything about that. And it bums me out because sometimes I drive there for 40 minutes and I'll get there and they'll have nothing. Right. And he says, you should call me. And I said, I've called you multiple times. Like, it's not like the first time I've called you. Yeah. So.
That's funny. So, have you talked to any about your website? I noticed that people went out and added their stores, and
did people add?
It's really cool, man.
I think only one person added the store. I think Sean added his.
There's some in Spain.
So what I've been doing, what I plan to do, and I'll bring it up now. Might as well. We was talking about it. So
sorry.
Let me just bring it up.
Didn't mean to change the subject.
No. There's no big deal.
Well, balance is pretty much everything on the slot car. So.
Yeah, so if you go to conquestgamingclub.com, that's my website. That's the latest KTM. But if you go into Find a Spot, so last week we talked about creating a place where we could find slot car hotspots around the world. So I coded this up, and it allows you to filter by influencer, private club track. But what so it's really interesting because people, I guess, are afraid to submit, but that's okay. I'm used to it. So what my commitment is to put 10 a week up because you can find them,
Gotcha.
right? Everybody's got like slot
Right.
cars. I'll just go around and find 10 a week and put them up, and that should give me about 500 by the end of the year, right? That's how
Yeah.
I work. So I put
No,
10.
I'm happy to do some of that too. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
just, you
once
know,
people just figure it out how important this could be,
yeah, the form's
yeah,
pretty simple. It's a simple form. You just fill it out. Once I get it, like Sean did it, yeah, you just put a logo, and if you don't have a logo, just leave it blank. It's fine. Or use like what I've been doing for people that don't have logos is just creating like when you go into let's just go into here, like you can see like Panther Hobbies didn't have a
right,
logo for me, so I just used a P, right?
yeah,
And I just did that. But this is cool because it, when I'm in Spain, like when I was in Spain this last summer, and I was like, oh, where should I go to find stock car tracks, right? It was a little bit of a pain because I had to go on forums and find it. So this was a way, in a way, it helps me as well when I travel. I was thinking, right? So that's what
yeah.
I did. The two places I visited when I was in Spain, I just put them in there. So
Gotcha.
you
Okay.
can go. Yeah, this is where my family lives in Spain. They live at just outside of Barcelona. So I was able to visit a couple of stock car tracks in Barcelona when I went this summer.
That's
And
cool.
when I go next year, I'll be able to visit more.
It's really cool. Yeah, man, great job on the site.
Yeah,
There you go.
Very cool.
this is what I do. I love to code, so it was a quick turnaround for me to do. Yeah, but that's something that I've always liked to do. I've always liked to put repositories of information together. So yeah, and if you guys would help out, that's great. Just fill out the form,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I'll put them up. But I'm actively searching as well. So I think next week I'll be putting 10 up as well. So if we can fill this out, it will become something, I think. But you have to
Yeah,
start somewhere, right?
that's right.
Yeah,
Well,
Sunday
I
Slot
think
Cars
it's
is already
cool.
on there. I put you there. I think you're here. You're already here. When you go to Canada, and I believe is this no, it's here.
Yeah.
That's Sunday Slot Cars right there. So yeah, I put them there, and then if you link, it links straight to their site. So it's a quick way to get where you need to go. Yeah. Yeah, so that was something I did over the weekend. Anything else? Anything interesting?
Oh,
Have you had a
George
look at
released
the
some
new
great.
Scale Auto releases?
yeah, the video
I took a peek at them, but
on a
Yeah.
rally car.
Yeah, I really like the Lexus. I really like the NSX that's coming out from Scale Auto. Those are my kind of things that I probably pick up for sure. But now, my family in Spain actually picks them up for me from Slot Mania, so I can get SRC cars and everything directly from Spain. So I got my cousins there actively hunting for me, so that helps.
that's great.
Yeah. Did you get any
Yeah, I need to
new
dig in.
cars?
No new cars for me this week.
Yeah.
I did get some cars. I did bring some cars home from me from Cincinnati Slots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a handful of guys that sent some stuff, some really cool stuff home with me that I'll be probably doing some content about. Some there's one car that's that was an X slot. I'm not sure if you're
X Lot?
familiar with those. It was a Ninko,
Oh, Ninko.
kind of a
Yeah.
hybrid. Yeah, but they created this performance brand called X Slot.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet car, and Daryl sent a couple Revo slots home to test with.
Dusty says he got 2 new cars.
Yeah, Dusty got 2 new cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Dusty's
tuning on them yesterday.
Dusty's on a roll now. He's really on a roll. I think the competition level has increased at Two Lions Speedway.
That's right. He picked up an NSR, the 91710.
Yeah.
The Jagermeister livery. It's pretty sweet. So he was racing that, and I was racing my 908.
Yeah.
They were pretty competitive.
Grandson of Mon says he thinks he got a Fly Porsche Fly Club one.
Nice.
I don't know what that is. What is a Fly Club one? I don't know what that car that is.
Special edition, probably.
Yeah.
For club members, just like Carrera Club.
Yeah, I have a Fly. Like when I went, I got the Fly slot car that's got the weathering on it. I have one of them. I brought them from Spain. Those are gorgeous cars, and they're just in the new releases. They showcase the new Rust Patina ones that they're gonna be doing. They look really good too. So,
George, you get anything new this week?
he's building them.
He's building them.
A lot of model kits for the hot rods. I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 model kits. One resin body, and then 2 resin body NASCARs coming.
Welcome, John. We're all slaughterholics here.
The Sunoco Ferrari. I got 3 Revo slots. Or actually 2 from Australia. The Alphas, the yellow and the red one.
Nice.
What else? I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, I got the red pig up there. There's stuff I haven't opened yet. And then they showed those damn Cudas. So I'm like, I probably won't get those because those are something you just keep in the box because they're nice, but they're real rare stuff. A lot of parts,
they were on display.
A lot of parts, for different various things, tools for other videos that I want to do. So about
That's
as stuff.
Yeah. Well, I got a Carrera exclusive from Sunday Slots, a BMW. And then I got a Charger. I told you I got the 2 NASCARs that are coming in from Carrera. And then I got the 2 KTMs, which I just did the video on.
Those are sweet. Those are sweet.
They're so nice looking, and you want them to go fast. You want them to go fast, Marty. You just don't go fast. You're like, come on, give me a little bit more.
Just a little disappointing.
You know, it was so straight out of the box, the rear tires were a bit bowed, and severely, because you could see one edge was really just sticking out. So I'm like, normally when I do a review, I just put grease and a little bit of oil, and I run the car straight out of the box. I don't really true tires or anything. So I ran the car, and I was like, I'm not getting any performance out of it. It's running like 603s, right? Like, you gotta understand, on my track, we're already hitting like the 2.78 on the NSR Formula 1, and then I got like low 3s is where like most of the fast cars are, right? So when it was running like 6, I was like, this is terrible, right? So I'm like, okay, I broke out the tire true and I started standing down. And Carrera rubber is the worst to stand down, right? It's like the worst, absolute worst. So I sanded down, and so I got it kind of flat. You could see like it kind of got the same color. And I had to be careful so I don't burn out the motor. It's a brand new car, right? So I did it slowly. I put it on a track, and I ran a 473, which is like as fast as the Di Tommaso. And I was like, this car's got so much more. I need to get tires for it. And then I realized they have a weird tire setup. So it doesn't have standard tires. There's no tire available for it. So I'm like, I gotta wait. But the car itself is gorgeous. Like, it's amazing. And the luminous orange glows in the dark, because I had it under the lights, and then I switched off the lights, and it was glowing, and I couldn't capture it on camera properly because you can try, but you never do it, right? You have to see it in real life. It just glows. It's amazing. I was like, so nice. But
yeah, definitely. It's a sharp looking car.
Yeah, let us know if you got new cars.
Yeah,
I do have the Sunoco on hold as well. Yeah. Yeah, cars are addictive. it's
Dusty
just
George has a problem. He can't even remember what he got this week. That's true, Dusty, and that's when it gets really bad. So, you know, like sometimes I forget where the hell is that I just got. I know it's around here. Usually it's a tool or something or another part. I'm like, no, I have those, and then I have to rummage through boxes and things. So yeah, I guess it'll get bad if you start progressing more in the hobby. It does. You start forgetting stuff.
yes, George. I got a whole pile of new stuff on my desk that I don't even know what to do with. Okay, because of you.
You can blame Harry. Harry's the one I blame when I started scratch building, as I started accumulating stuff.
Yeah.
But like he said, I'll take the blame, no problem.
Yeah. Dusty says, I'm lucky my wife gives me crap if I don't buy the ones I want. Oh,
She does.
that's nice. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's always sorry to interrupt. There's always
No.
like Klarna and Pay in 4. And I use those things a lot sometimes just to kind of get stuff. If I was to pay all at once, it'd be too much. So that's how I gauge myself a little. Well, not actually using a credit card, so it's like credit, but not a credit card. So you're not incurring fees or anything. So you just pay in the 4. And there's like, I'll do it maybe twice or 3 times, and that's it until they're done. Then wait another couple of weeks, and if I see something, then I'll do that again.
Yeah. Well, I'm so I work like full time. I'm the director for a pharmaceutical company, but because I code websites, last year I coded 22 websites for people, and part of my website coding is I do website maintenance for them. So I have 5 maintenance packages that are dedicated to my hobbies. So whatever comes in from those 5, that's what goes into hobbies. That's why I have like I can buy so many cars. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be able to do this. I have to.
House and
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I pay for all the cars and all the hobby stuff. I build
Well-
a lot of websites.
The bigger scale cars are way more expensive if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you know how that is, bro. I did that for a number of years with my GTO, and every year when I got tax turn or when I had the money, I'd buy a modification for the car and put it on there. So I think the stock car should just a little bit less than an actual car. So
That's right.
Yeah. Well, coming from rail racing, I mean, when I was budgeting for rail racing, it would be like $20,000 for a season, right? Because like your
Yikes.
first 10,000 is just in your brake setup, in your tires. Like we go to 2 sets of tires. That's already, and then things break, so you have to be
Right.
ready for that. So coming to slot cars, it's a lot cheaper. Yeah. And coming from
looking-
RC is another, you get a lot cheaper as well. So
Yeah. I'm looking at my shelf of all the cars that I have right now, and I can't believe how many are over there. But I see about 6 of them I have to send back to George. I should probably send those back to you this week or so.
no problem.
yeah, John, you're very correct. You must have a slush fund for slot
Yeah.
cars. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Good stuff.
is there anything else we want to cover tonight?
Trying to see if we get the people in the chat involved. I'm trying to stick questions in there and get them involved because they're kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Some of them are.
That's
John's
okay.
talking Dusty and just trying to get somebody to say something. Don't be shy. Here you go, Dusty. Had a chance to check them out. There's a video for it, so it's got some
Yeah.
quality porno 70 music if you want to listen to it. So the music cracks me up. I was like, I guess they can't really put anything, Well, they did put what the Fly one used in actual. What did they use? I can't remember. Crap, 80s music they used. They used something on their video, and I guess they got that was monetized, but that was better than the same video because Scale Electric used the same track as Scale Auto did. That's the
Oh, yeah?
same. Yeah, if you
It's so weird because like I don't know if you guys are hearing the music, but this is Epidemic Sound, right? So Epidemic Sound is a subscription based platform that you just go and you get royalty free music that you can use in your videos as long as you register, right? So I don't see how they could not have unique music, because I have Motion Array, I have Epidemic Sound, I have Storyblocks, I have all these places produce music and video, and so there's no reason to have no unique music.
I know.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
make
have
any
no
sense.
understanding, but so we've talked about tires.
Dusty said he's never quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. He refuses to come on though. I mean, we've invited
know.
him.
How come
He doesn't.
Come on, Dusty. Don't be a wimp. You're a mechanic like I am. Come on.
He doesn't have great. He doesn't have great internet at home, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So your brother's backing you up. So
Yeah,
Well, I tried to get him to come on to last Tuesday, and he wouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked
Some
about
people don't like
tires.
being- Harry doesn't like being on camera. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
You could talk to him, but he doesn't like doing the camera thing. That's why a lot of his videos, and even in pictures, if you see, he does this, and I did it when I went over there. He does the Mr. Wilson thing where he puts this over his,
Yep.
and you just see his
Yep.
stuff. But he's a real good
I
guy,
know.
but he just doesn't like being on camera. Just some people don't like being on camera, and I understand
Not
that.
for everybody.
Yeah, you get used to it after a while. Like when I first started my first video, I was like so nervous. Now I don't care. Honestly, it's like now I'm just like talking to the person. That's it, But my first one, I was like, I made notes. I was like, I gotta talk about this and that, and then you get nervous when you're trying to look at the notes, and you're like, oh, now it just flows. I don't do it anymore. I'm driving right now. Authorities kind of frown upon texting driving. I'm
Don't
dictating.
get in the accident, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just drive. Be
Because
safe.
I am tossing up the idea of making wood track. I'm a carpenter by trade, and it looked like they use MDF for track. Yeah, they use mainly MDF, is what it is for the track. That's the usual stuff they use. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, bro.
No.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Saying.
nobody's interrupting.
Yeah, I like when they start chatting because it kind of gets more involved because I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get there.
I mean, we could talk. There's a lot of things to talk about. But let's go back to the live stream so far. We've talked about tires. We've talked about float. We've talked about balance. What do you want to talk about next? Like, what's important to talk about next?
Well, let's see what the people in the chat think. What do you guys
Yeah.
think should be the next thing you guys want to talk about? May crash tomorrow night.
Yeah, he and John Mark are, I think, planning to crash my live stream tomorrow night and play on the track while I'm trying to do a live stream.
Playing in the background.
Hey, it's called flavor. That's fine.
That's right.
Now you
Two
got the great
thumbs up.
angle there because you can see the whole track.
You got to get a webcam like mine and then put it up there so we can see
Yeah,
the whole track like this. And it'd be
I've
fun.
got one. I need a longer cable, so I'm working on that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garth, it's not a Zoom. This is Ecamm, right? Oh, Garth.
Yeah, this is Ecamm.
Yeah,
Zoom's a lot different.
Yeah.
You see, Garth is on the World Watch Slot chat. He usually is on there. When
Yep.
I go on there, I see him on there with
Yep.
I can't remember anybody's names today. But he puts it on it all the time. So Greg Gobb, I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah.
Greg Gobb's the one. So that's what he's talking about. Because you'll have multiple windows, and guys they'll have to raise their hand, have a little virtual hand if they want to talk about their project. It's pretty cool. If you haven't gone to that, you could go on HRW, and he started that when the pandemic happened, and it's like it's like up to 160 right now. So he has every video recorded and uploaded to the YouTube for his channel. And what it is, everybody is there, and then they talk about projects, stuff like that they have, things that they've done, and then they talk about Club Corner, and it's a really good place to go to if you want to listen to people
Yeah,
from all over the world, people from England, people from Spain, people
Right.
from Australia, all around. It's a lot of people.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, the more people coming together, the better, I think, all around.
Dusty. Excited to watch the new Hot Rod Build series. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Video number 2 will be out tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Nice.
College radio DJ back in the 80s. I think I have a face for radio. The 80s. Oh boy, I love the 80s.
Yeah.
So
So
you guys, nobody's answering anybody. What do they want to talk about on the next thing? They haven't said anything.
Well, I mean, what haven't we covered yet? I mean, like just heavy basic tuning. I mean, we've kind of touched all the parts of tuning point. I don't know
yeah, it's
what's next.
interesting. I mean, like, it's difficult because I mean, there's so much to talk about, but then there's finite when you put it into topics, right?
Right.
Because it's a lot to talk about, but then it's a lot to talk about when you tune a specific car, right? So maybe we start to talk about specific cars and what we've done to tune them. Maybe we highlight a car a week or something like that. But you know, Chad, help us out. Let us know what you want. I don't know. It's I do want to keep it going with the main topic every week, and then have our commentary or whatever else that goes around it.
Right.
I know a lot of the guys are doing now the reviews of the 2023, but I think once again it's just more cars. But I want to be more on the technical side of things. Look at, you know, how to do. Maybe we do how to do. So here's the question, right? I'm actually trying to wire up my Carrera Go track, and I want to get jumpers on it. So I was building a bus bar for my Carrera Go track. So that may be a good thing to talk about, how to build a bus bar and do it correctly, how to do a jump leads correctly, right? There's some information out there, obviously, but we can always amalgamate and see what's best in those categories, right?
I think the one you just said that probably what we should have is what do you do to tune your Revo car or something like that, and that gets everybody on what they, because you got to look at how everybody else tunes their stuff. That's a good thing to do, like a car of the week. What do you do to tune a Revo car this week, or you know, something like that, NSR, whatever, Carrera. You just go down the line. It's a lot of brands.
Yeah. So Dave says, I was happy just running Carrera cars with Paul Gage tires. Now watching all your live streams, now going to different brand cars. So which brand are you looking at, Dave? You know, that's an interesting question. Like what brand?
That's a great
like
question.
For me, branding, my brand, honestly, if I hadn't gone to Ernie's, I don't know if I'd picked up an NSR or picked up anything else. Now, when I started my slot car journey in 2008, Mini Grid had a variety of brands, but the main brands were Sideways, Fly, and Carrera. So in 2008, I picked up a lot of the Sideways and the Fly cars. And then we picked up all the G slots because they were the only manufacturer that made JDM at that time. So that's why I have the whole set of G slot cars. That's the reason why I picked up those cars. And then recently, when I came back, I was only looking at Carrera Digital. That's all I wanted to do. And I used to go to Panther and pick up Carrera Digital cars. And then only when I went to Ernie's, I got introduced to Ernie's, did I see the NSRs, and I see, well, Slotted I'd seen before, but it's the first time, like when I went to Ernie's is where I saw, here are the Slotted cars, and you see them live, and you pick them up, and you're like, oh, you know what, I'll try one out. I'll try another one out, and then you get hooked. Because when you start racing at the club track, you don't want to bring your Carrera cars there because they're heavy, they're slow. Like you can just feel the difference. Just putting a Carrera car on, and then you see these slot cars just go past you at speed. You're like, yeah, this doesn't belong here. I need to find another car, right? And that's where the NSRs come in and stuff. So I think it depends on who you're racing, where you're racing, which shops you frequent. Brands become, you pick up the brands. But any good slot car, slot car track normally has a variety of brands to choose from, right? Like Marty, you went to Cincy, he has 2,000 cars, right?
Oh yeah, it's got everything.
Yeah.
There's a MP right there. Ernie was a bad influence. He got me hooked on all other slot brands too. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Wanna
I
see
know.
his video? Did you
I
see
know
his video?
Ernie's very smooth, but I talk to him
Massimo's
every day.
video was very funny. Leaking
Yeah.
coolant. Did you see it yet? Did you guys see his video yet?
Yeah, I saw it. They'll slide
Check it
again,
out,
and
Marie.
then
It's funny. You haven't seen it.
yeah.
I mean, laughing.
So John Bacon, how important is it to have a motor pod in scratch building? Pod, I'm presuming motor pod.
So when you mean scratch, are you talking about a brass chassis or are you talking about a plastic chassis? People do scratch build plastic chassis out of 3D and all that. There's really a motor pod on a
Damn coolant
so you
leaks.
can do it, but it's a lot more work. But not for what we're doing, at least what the showdown is all about. But I have seen people that send cars, and I got a photo of it actually. Some guy did a brass chassis for a proxy, and it was beautiful. He did some real good work, and the pan float, and it was a nice car. And I'm sure it can be done for that type of car, but it's yeah, you could do it if you wanted to. Take a little bit of work.
All right, guys, I got to bail.
Okay.
Already.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I hate to, but I got to. So
No,
this has
fine.
been great. Sorry, I was late. And now me leaving early. Jeez.
that's fine. That's fine. I mean, we just
Eva.
keep these going. So next week, let's pick. Let's talk about how to tune Revo slot next week. So if you're interested in something like that, let's do that. And I know George, you are the master there, so we'll rely on you for a lot of that.
I learned. So there's a video by Scott Culp from War Eagle River Racing. He's the one that I learned that video from. He
Yeah.
knows how to tune cars. So if you type up War Eagle River Racing, and you type up Revo Tune for, I think it is a Viper. That's where I
Yeah.
got all that stuff. And I didn't do almost all the stuff that he did, because you could get actually. Mazzetti Racy has a type of O-ring you put for the body, I think, as well, that you get from him, and he talks about that. But that's the video that I learned how to do mine, and it works great on my track, because he has a wood track that he did it on, and it works good. So it's all good. I think we should try and get somebody involved from the chat, like on a video call, and ask
Sure.
them. What they do. So I think that's what we need to do. Because I don't want to just three of us talking. I'd rather try and get somebody from there.
I'm always open. If anyone wants to jump on, we can just let me know, and I'll send you a link. No problems. This is all about. Yeah, I have no problems there.
That's right. The community.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
for
man.
today.
Good to see you guys.
We'll talk to you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Marty. But
All right.
and George, and take care, guys. Okay.
See you.
Thanks.
Bye.